Okay. Hello. I am so excited today because we're welcoming Lisa from Girl Camper. Hello, Lisa.
Hello.
So excited. It's so nice to talk to another chick. Can I just say that? Small things, small things. I have been doing this for a while and I know y'all have too, but I want our audience to understand this because we've talked to a lot of women campers and I love Girl Camper for so many reasons. But for some people who don't know what Girl Camper is, could you explain that to them?
You bet. So, Girl Camper is actually the largest women's camping organization in the country. We are excited to be able to say that we have almost 9,000 active members, and we host 300 to 400 events a year. We have chapters all across the United States, and our hostesses, our guides in each state, are the ones that put on these events. And an event can look like anything, especially over the winter. It might be a Seeds of Friendship lunch, we call it. You're just getting together for lunch with like-minded women who want to be in the outdoors and love to go camping. Or in the summer when we're really active, it can be a 3 or 4 day long camping event. It can be something a little more down and dirty, which is kind of what I really like. I'm going to be hosting a through hike next June for 10 days where a bunch of us are going to be hiking 125 miles. We're going to be completely backpacking in the backcountry of the Black Hills of South Dakota. We could be doing a whitewater rafting trip. We do those quite often where it's a week long. Or it could be a trip to Ireland and getting to see some really neat sights of Ireland. We do a big variety of different things, but the focus is usually always getting outdoors with like-minded, nice women.
That's all you need. That's it. That's
Yeah.
that's, that's the bottom line. I think I talk to a lot of women who are like, I don't know if I could do it by myself. Who am I going to know? Am I ever going to make any friends? And I'm like, there's some fantastic, girl camper events you might want to look into. I'm like, it's something that just it hit a nerve really easily and really early on when I started looking around. When did y'all start this?
So the Go Camper actually started in 2015 when our founder, Janine Pettit, she had a podcast. And that was kind of back in the days of when podcasting, I think, was still relatively new. So Grow Camper became really popular then. That's how I found Grow Camper. I was an avid listener to the podcast. And one of Janine's big tenets is always education, because she found that there really wasn't resources out there specifically geared towards women, where you could learn different ways of camping, whether that be in an RV or a tent or a hammock or a car or cabin or just whatever. So she started this educationally focused podcast. And then in about 2019, 2020, she and her partner, Diane McNamara, decided that they should start Girl Camper in a different way. And that would be to bring on guides and have events and guides across the United States that could help kind of spread this word. And then they also launched the Grow Camper magazine, which we are now going on like our 18th or 19th issue. And it's just been great. And because of the magazine, the podcast was put on hold so we could focus on that. But I'm excited to say that in April of this year, we brought the podcast back, and that has been really fun. And I'm one of the co-hosts, and I'm very much enjoying it because that was something that I think was really missed by a lot of people, was that kind of that connection and being able to do some fun stuff. But that's kind of the history of Grow Camper and what we've been doing for the last 10 years ish.
Yep. This is amazing because you guys are sort of on my journey. I actually got my first RV. I'm trying to think if it was 2016, 2017. And that's sort of when same kind of thing. Podcast gets me every time I listen to podcasts. And, you're looking for your tribe. You're looking for that group that you're going to fit in with. And at the time I thought, oh, I'm sure I'll find some group or club. It took me a while. It took me a while to find some other women out there that I want to go camping with or hang out with. And then after you do start to meet these amazing people, you're like, wow, where have these people been? And I'm just really, really happy to be a part of this. So this is one of those organizations. I'm like, yes,
Yay.
it's a good
We
thing.
love having you.
It's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. So I know this year there's a big event. I mean, and we can talk about the smaller events, which is cool because I really think everyone should go to the smaller events, meet people and find your tribe, like I said. But I'm taking a big trip, and I mean, I'm going to blame this on you, Lisa. I'm taking a big trip this year. I'm going to the Camporee. Now, tell people what the Camporee is.
Camporee is our annual signature event. This year, it's going to be in June, the first week of June in Granby, Colorado, which is just a few miles away from one of the entrances of Rocky Mountain National Park. It's near Winter Park. For those who are skiers, they'll know where that is. It is going to be so much fun, but it is our big signature event. This event is packed with things to do and great food to eat. And it's one of our largest events. It'll have about 125 to 150 women there. And it is just going to be so much fun. There's going to be so much to do. Our mornings are usually filled with a combination of educational seminars and maybe a fun craft type thing. And then the afternoon, this is kind of something new. Normally our afternoons we leave open for people to go do whatever. But because of the location that we're at and all the amenities, we are at Sun Outdoors Rocky Mountain property. They have so much to offer there that we're going to be doing things like pickleball and oh my gosh, the camping game where you throw the bean bags.
The cornhole.
Yes, thank you. Oh, I can't believe I can't remember the name. We're going to be doing cornhole tournaments. We're going to be doing kayaking and fishing. We're going to have so much stuff that you're going to be able to do in the afternoon if you want, or you can go do whatever you want. You can go visit Rocky Mountain National Park, go do some hiking, things like that. But it's going to be so jam-packed. And one of the best things that I am really looking forward to is we are going to be doing one afternoon a roper romp.
I've heard about this. Okay, let me just say, I don't have my full costume, but for those of you out there, this is so much fun. Okay, explain it. Go ahead.
So hopefully all of us remember Three's Company and Mrs. Roper and her gorgeous caftans that she wore, So yeah, you dress up as Mrs. Roper, get your little tight curly hair wig and your caftan.
Glasses. Don't forget the glasses.
The big glasses and costume jewelry. And we're going to be doing like a little camper tour, walking around the campground and then culminating with dinner that night. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. I love this. I've never been to Roper Run. I've heard about them. I've seen them on other pictures of other places. I'm like, it's time. It's time. So for people right now who are thinking about going to Camporee, just start putting your costume together because you really do want to dress up. You want to enjoy it because it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is. It is going to be a lot of fun. And get signed up now because we are already running out of spots. So if you're thinking about coming to Camporee, don't wait. Get signed up now.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I have 23 hours to drive, I think. Wow. Oh my gosh. No biggie. No big. Just take me a few days. Well, no big deal. But you're gonna be my first technical summer destination. Nice. So which would be fun, which would be really cool because I've really started venturing out west a little more because I'm normally a southeastern kind of gal. And so last year I did South Dakota, this past year I did South Dakota, which is great. You talk about Black Hills. I love the Black Hills. Oh my gosh. Love that area. And now I've never been to Colorado, quite honestly. I've never stopped. I've like airport doesn't count. So I've never stepped foot in Colorado and done any of the fun things. So I'm going to spend a month in Colorado in June and I'm going to go all the way around the state and we're just going to hit all the national parks and all the cool stuff.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm excited. I'm really excited about that.
Well, the neat thing too with Go Camper on events like Camporee is we encourage caravanning. So maybe from wherever you're starting out at your 23-hour journey, we can hook you up with some other women that are coming from Camporee or, coming to Camporee and y'all can caravan out together.
That'd be fun. Cracker Barrels across America. That's
yeah, or Love's Truck Stops. I'm a huge fan of Love Truck Stops.
There you go. I love me some Loves. We were talking about this the other day. So here's a big question. Of all the fuel places that you stop when you're driving and you're doing stuff, give me like your top 2 or 3 that you love to stop at the most. I'm sort of curious because Loves is one of mine, just based upon the long windshield wiping sticks. That sounds weird, but yeah.
So I'm a huge fan of Loves, and I take advantage of their RV parking that they have at a lot of their travel stops, and that is usually right out front. It is no cost, and I've stayed there as a solo woman traveler multiple times and felt safe overnight. they're open 24 hours. Their bathrooms are always clean. They've got food, everything in there that I could always want. And then you get a nice discount on the gas with their Love's Travel app. You get, 10 cents off, or if you've got diesel, check out Open Roads. They're usually connected with Love's, and that can get you a nice discount on that.
They're giving diesel 15 cents off for auto fuel now.
That's right, because we just came back and stayed at actually one of Love's campgrounds in Hardin, Montana, last weekend in the snow, and we took our van, which is diesel, and I was really excited to see that 15 cents off. That makes a big difference.
Makes a huge difference as for a lot of us who are traveling. But you're right, like Open Road, all those other diesel things. I have a gas and I have a diesel. I have two different kinds of campers, which is interesting. So depending on where I go, every little bit counts.
Yep. But I'm a huge fan of Love's, and honestly, that's really, if I'm not, I also like KOAs because they're always near an interstate. So if I'm traveling and I just need an overnight and I'm wanting to spend the money, which I hate doing, if it's only overnight, I'll do a KOA if there's not a Love's nearby. But otherwise, I feel perfectly comfortable overnighting at a Love's travel stop.
Makes sense. Okay, so we have a little bit of experience. We're going to just pick your brain a little bit on some things, which I think is cool. I want to know, do you have any newbie advice? If you were thinking about becoming a camper tomorrow, what's something you would tell someone?
Definitely look for an organization like Grow Camper to join, that you can, just in the social media aspect, find a safe place that can answer your questions. And we really strive really hard to not have any mean girls in our social media groups, because there is no dumb question. And we don't want anybody ripping you apart or making you feel that, hey, if you don't know how to do something, we want you to feel safe that you can come to Grow Camper and ask those questions. But find a group like us and find, events that are going on near you. Start out with driveway camping, and get used to your camper there. Figure out how things work there, and then venture out maybe a little bit further. What's the closest campground near you, or state park, or in my area in the Black Hills, there's a lot of free camping in the Forest Service. Make those little things, those little trips start. And we get a lot of questions about, I've never towed, I've never backed a trailer before. Well, none of us were born towing or backing either. And that's just a confidence and a practice thing. So take your time with those and just get comfortable with it and play around with it. Find a big empty parking lot and drive around, practice backing, all that kind of stuff. I think
what you hit the nail on the head right there when you talked about, you don't know until you know. Like some things just take practice. And I've never met, in all my years doing this, I've always met super helpful people. Really, truly.
Yeah.
If you need help backing in, if you need help with this or that. I've always had drivables. I've never had towables. And you're a towable girl, right?
I have everything.
I've had it all.
Yeah, I have it all. I have a fifth wheel, a travel trailer, a camper van. Yeah. So.
Once you get to that point, okay, so this is important now. I want to know this. Since you have this, tell me about your favorite RV that you have.
I don't have a favorite because it just depends. This time of year in the winter, I love the camper van. I love the ability to jump in it and go. And we take it to ski resorts quite a bit, especially ones that you can camp in. Grand Targhee out in Wyoming, which is on the other side of Jackson Hole, has camping for $40 a night in their parking lot. That's fabulous. And granted, there's no hookups, but our van is all self-sustaining. We don't need any of that. So I love the freedom of the van. But in the summertime, I probably like my little travel trailer better because I like to dump it and take then my Toyota 4Runner and go exploring with it. And as you know, with a van, that makes that a little more challenging. You got to kind of pack up and move every time. So I do like that. But and my little travel trailer, which is a little guy micro, it's just perfect for myself and my dog or my cat, depending on who decides they want to go camping that weekend. It is a little bit too small for my husband and I will say. So when we want to go do a much bigger and a longer trip, we will take our Keystone Montana fifth wheel. And then that's like, to us, a little home on wheels for sure.
Yeah, they are quite big. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I would do with all that space. I'd be sprawling out like crazy. I'd be like, mine, mine.
It is different. Yeah, it
It's a
is
little
definitely
different. It's a
different.
little different. I have a brand new 2025 Winnebago Echo right now, Sprinter
Nice.
chassis, which is a 4 season. So when you talk about going skiing and stuff, I'm like, oh, I'm ready. I'm like,
Mhm.
bring on the snow. Like I'm in the Southeast. We'll get like Tennessee mud. That's about all we're gonna get. So okay, we'll figure it out. I'll take it out west, maybe up north for a little bit. That'd be fun.
There you go.
Okay, so these are dorky questions, but I have to say, this is something that happens at a lot of places when we go out to campgrounds. There is always, almost always, a potluck.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite potluck dish to make, or even like find at a potluck?
Boy, I'm the wrong person to ask on
I
that
know.
because I don't really cook. And so I'm the mooch that usually comes to the potluck with maybe the store-bought cookies or the
No,
bag
no,
of chips.
no. I bring napkins. I'm right there with you, sister. Let me tell you what. I'm like, you really want me to cook? You'll get deviled eggs and you'll like them. That's all. That's as
Ooh,
far as I go. That's a little crazy. I'll go crazy on that.
people love deviled eggs, though. Deviled
I
eggs is
know.
a great thing to bring to potlucks.
I know, but it takes time, but it's where that's the only like crazy one item in my van that has no other purpose than to carry deviled eggs. And that's it.
That's a good one. I think
Oh,
too at potlucks is there's always such an abundance of food left over. So that's why I usually kind of justify, "Well, I don't really need to bring anything because there's so much going to be left over." But if I do have to bring something, then I like bringing deviled eggs because I know people like them, especially in my core group of camping friends. I have one friend that eats eggs every single day. So do you really?
oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Grew up with chickens. I'm so used to having, I mean, if we don't have, boiled eggs, hard eggs, scrambled eggs on top of a sandwich, it just seems we've always had so many eggs, you just get used to it. So yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. Well, it's cheap protein too. I mean, honestly, we're talking about ways of eating and with everything rising in price, it seems like eggs are a pretty economical protein.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Very
Very good.
good point. I love that. I know. All right. So, Lisa, I hate to do this to you. I'm so excited. If you were going to join Girl Camper, how do you join Girl Camper? Where do we find you guys?
So go to our website, girlcamper.com, and you can do it from a couple of different ways. On the event tab, there is going to be the opening paragraph is going to talk about how to join.
Mhm.
Or also up in the upper left-hand corner, right-hand corner, excuse me, I think is a login join button. However, as we're taping this podcast, sometime in the very near future, we're going to be tweaking our website so that the joining process is going to be a lot easier to find, hopefully easier for women to kind of figure out. It's super simple to do. And we're going to be launching an additional membership level. We haven't figured out what we're naming it yet. So it's kind of like a VIP membership. And for $25 a year, you're going to get a whole bunch of extra benefits by helping to support Girl Camper and a women-owned business. And with the $25, you're going to get a digital subscription to the magazine. You're going to get invited to a virtual campfire each month that one of us is going to be hosting, whether it's myself or Janine or one of our guides. You're going to get early access to all of our events. You're going to get a discount in our online store. It's going to be worth it. And it's just a small little annual membership fee. But if you really just want to test out Girl Camper in the waters first, we have currently a one-time, lifetime only, or lifetime one-time fee that you'd pay of $10. And that is kind of our vetting fee to make sure that you're a real person. You
Right.
pay that $10 fee, and that gets you as a lifetime member of Girl Camper and gives you access to the events, and you can see all the details of what's going on, where they're happening, and you can register that way. Without that, that information is hidden, and that is kind of for safety reasons. We just want to, like I said, make sure that you're a real person and a woman, hopefully, and go through that vetting process. So
Awesome.
that's
Awesome.
that's how.
And I
Yeah,
did that. I paid my $10 or whatever it was initially, so I could go in and read all the good stuff. I do love the magazine. I will say the magazine is fantastic. You guys are doing a great job with that. I
thank
still
you.
love the podcast. Can't wait for the podcast to come back. Lots of cool stuff. Lots of amazing resources. So you've done a fantastic job of putting that all together, and I'm glad that it's continuing. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We've had a lot of fun, and it's been fun to see how it's grown in the last 9, 10 years
Mhm.
and where we're going, in the future. And like I said earlier, to us, there is no wrong way to camp like the girl. So don't feel that you need to have a camper. Come, camp in your car, camp in a tent, camp in a cabin, stay at the Super 8 down the road. We don't care. Just come enjoy us, get out there and experience nature.
Awesome. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate it. Thanks.
We're having a dog day. This is Rosie. Hi, Rose. And
Aw.
this is Lisa. Say hi. She is 7. She's a hot mess.
Yeah. That's what he is too.
Oh, but she's huge. She was tiny. She has dwarfism of all things, believe it or not.